What's up YouTube? We're back with some hot new lists, and for the next couple of videos I'll focus on featuring decks that have done very well in the last couple of tournaments. So this weekend we had the seasonal tournament and LoR Masters Europe's finals. And even though it's been a long time since the last balance patch, there have been a surprising amount of fresh new decks that performed really well. Some new original concepts and some fresh takes on old lists. And one of those that I want to feature today is GrandpaRoji's Taliyah Malphite. Yes, you heard that correctly. I know it's been considered a meme for most of its existence, but GrandpaRoji has been trying to make it work since its release, kind of gotten close to perfecting the art, and brought this in the seasonal. His whole lineup went 7 wins, 2 losses, and this deck apparently was undefeated completely, did not drop a single game on Taliyah Malphite. And while this is gonna perform slightly better in a tournament setting because you can ban the worst matchup, I still think it's a viable ladder choice. I played it myself and at least was able to hold my LP more or less in the very high Masters ranks. So without further ado, I'll try to explain the idea of the list. It's basically a mid-range list that wants to finish games with either Taliyah or Malphite, giving them overwhelm ideally, with either the Absolver or Herald of the Mages, or of course build a wide board, level Malphite, get the unstoppable force to stun your opponent's whole board, and then just one-shot them with a big attack. For units, we have everyone's favorite darling Chip in the 1-drop slot. Ancient Preparations, not the fastest of 1-drops against an aggro deck, but of course it is very synergistic here. Predict is good, Landmark is good, 2/2 for 1 mana is good, so it's in there. 2 drops, Blue Sentinel, has some pretty interesting synergy. So for example, if your Blue Sentinel dies on turn 2 already, you can then already play Earth Elemental or Salt Spire on turn 3 and basically speed that process up. Of course, it might also give you Taliyah or Malphite 1 turn earlier. Rockhopper is a very obvious one. Great Landmark synergies and also synergistic with this card, Endless Devout. One of the stronger cards of the new expansion, basically a 3-mana 8/6, and we do have plenty of ways of making use of that sarcophagus. We either can copy it with Taliyah to get 2 5/3s, or we can pop it with Rite of the Arcane at any point in the game. But continuing with the units first, Earth Elemental, also pretty easy to fulfill the conditionality in this deck. A 4-mana 6/5 Overwhelm can often be very useful, and it also often gets targeted by Salt Spire buffs. It will often be the highest, like the strongest ally on the board. Herald of the Mages as a one-off, as an alternative way of enabling game finishes to Absolver. And of course we have Taliyah and Malphite, both very easy to level in the stacks and both benefiting very much from Overwhelms. Malphite just has high attack already, and Taliyah of course can first clear out the blocker with a threaded volley once she's leveled, and then hit the Nexus for a lot of Overwhelm damage. Now looking at spells and landmarks, that's the bread and butter of this deck. I already touched up on Ancient Prep. We also have Preservarium just to ensure some draw, but it's also really good, again, with the champions, the landmark synergies, but also being copied by Taliyah. It draws you 2 cards, right? So first it gets summoned again, it draws you a card, and then when the countdown happens, you draw another one. One of Rite of Calling, just because you are very reliant on the champions, and especially in the later stages of the game, you often don't mind sacrificing a mana gem because most of your cards are cheap anyway. 2 Absolver, I already touched up on those. Rite of the Arcane, a great way of enabling the sarcophaguses out of Endless Devout, but also just a great removal tool in the current meta because every bigger threat has 2, 3, or 4 HP. Well, outside of Scion, I suppose. But speaking of Scion, we have Ground Slam to deal with him and stall the game for additional turns, and then Malphite can take over, stun your opponent's board, and you don't have to worry about the Scion rally anymore. Ground Slam also an effective way of dealing with Poppy, for example. Unraveled Earth is very good in this deck, just because it speeds up the level up process on quite a few cards, or the Earth Elemental +3 attack, for example. Drawing is always good, and at the same time, you have a lot of vulnerable synergies, for example, with Endless Devout. But with Unraveled Earth, watch out that you always play it before your opponent would want to play their key cards. So right before you think they would want to play Bandle City Mayor, or Poppy, or Draven, or whatever, that's the best timing to play Unraveled Earth. And last of all, we have Salt Spire. I already kind of touched up on this. Just good value in a card by itself. It helps the level ups as well. And Saltspire on turn 4, Taliyah on turn 5. That means at the start of turn 6, you get one 5/4 Rock Bear and one 9/8 Rock Bear. That's just insane value for 9 mana cards, and having those 2 units alongside Taliyah on your board then. So the deck is not very easy to play, that's for sure. It has a lot of combos, a lot of synergies between the cards that you might have to experiment around with first to find all of them. And you also really need to know the matchups and when to play which cards, and for example what to save your Rite of the Arcane or Ground Slam for, and of course the timing on cards like Unraveled Earth. And then for tech choices, I'm still thinking that maybe some amount of Desert Naturalist might be good in this, but of course Roji has way more experience on this archetype than I do, and therefore I trust him with these tech choices. So yeah, this is definitely as close as you can get to making Malphite viable. I do think you can have a 50% or higher win rate in Masters with this if you play this deck well enough, and here are a bunch of gameplay examples of me doing exactly that. Enjoy.
Is it the mustache? Who knows?
Alright, before we get started, Sonny, this one's for you. Oh, that felt good. I am a Braum fan since beta, and you have a wonderful mustache, hence I formally request of you to start with Poppy Braum. I can't do that, I'm already locked in. But thank you for the bits. I will continue with Poppy Braum after I get some games in on this. So 1 Devout? I really want 1 and 2 drops besides Ancient Prep, I think. Then again, Devout is one of the best cards here. Rockhopper would be huge. I think I keep 1 Devout. Because I want to suicide the Devout as quickly as possible, right? There we go, easy game. I mean, turn 4 is 2nd Devout, looks good. I'm surprised there's no Naturalist in this, to be honest.
In this timeline, we're sure to save Pkye.
Almost misclicked. Braum cosplay when? 1,000 subscribers.
It can be undone.
Karma cosplay when? 1,001 subscribers. No, I'm just kidding. Karma cosplay, that's a bit wide. Karma does have short hair though. I could rock it with a wig. How many subs do I have right now? 198. Still need like a tiny bit more. Get there? Yeah, we'll get there eventually. But you know, if I try to do a Braum cosplay, I'll do it properly. Like, I'd start lifting weights again for like 2 months. I'm gonna either trim or shave my head. I kind of want to go Saltspire on 4 into Taliyah on 5. In that case, it's better to trade this in. How tall am I? 1.88
See what I've learned?
Always gotta trash these lurker kiddos. Yeah, the predict sarcophagus might have been a bit trolly, to be honest. The predict endless devote, rather. I'm used to always playing devote with naturalist, which is a huge power spike.
I leave my own path.
Not even bluffing 190. Why would I bluff 190? I'm tall enough. I'm happy with my height. Just need to work on my width for that Braum cosplay. Just be world champion, easy subs. I mean, I did get like an additional 80 subs, or I think even 100 subs during the watch party.
Relax your knees.
So I do think the World Championship was actually a great event that had all content creators in a way, just because it gave the game more exposure.
So little when family means so much.
But yeah, of course I didn't get as many subs as Alan did. And it's actually really weird that people are like most likely to gift subs when the person is having success already, right? So it's actually when that person would need it the least is when they get most gifted subs. And when a content creator has like some harder times, is rather struggling, you usually don't get them. Exposure from analyzing with Swim on his channel. It was a lot of stuff going on the same time. But yeah, that was one of the big breaks. Like Swim first raided me, and then we did that analysis together. Wait, give me a second here. I need to think about this one. Ground Slam, then finish this with Rite of the Arcane looks good. Yeah, I think that's good. I Ground Slam now to shut down the Lurk, actually. My opponent's gonna have to suicide a Hammer Snout here. Will give you 300 channel points if you win Worlds. Why? That's very generous of you. Give you tier 3 sub if you're World Champion. What a gamer. I mean, he did play Call the Pack, though, didn't he? Yeah. But see, the stun pre-combat was absolutely enormous because I just removed a blocker on my opponent's side for at no cost.
Just like your mountain.
This is a stomp. We're just running this kid over. Am I gonna watch LoL Worlds? I'm somewhat following it. It's been a long time since I played League myself, so I'm not super invested, but every now and then I tune in. I still think it's amazingly produced and very, very interesting to watch, even if you don't play actively. You can do it, but he'll probably just cast again during Worlds. If I get an offer to cast Worlds instead of playing it, I would probably do that. Just because the likelihood of any player winning Worlds is so close to 0. Let's go, exact lethal. Yeah, we're off to a good start here. Rank 1, we're coming for you. Would have been somewhat winnable. How scared am I of Teemo Ezreal? I think I'm pretty scared, actually. I think that's a really good matchup for them. Could be a full keep. Probably not Earth Alley. Lurk stream when? Hopefully never. That deck is frustrating. Looks like a skip. Ground Slam is fine as well for a Teemo. 2, 3. Yeah, I think Ground Slam is okay. Oh, I hate on Lurk.
Another day in the field.
I don't know. It's too one-sided and too RNG heavy for my taste. I just very much dislike how immediately board impacting a Rek'sai hit or a Lurk hit or a whiff is.
Nothing escapes my watch.
Nami RNG dependent? Nami is RNG dependent in a very different way though. Card game players are used to
Swiftly.
draw RNG. Board impacting RNG is a different thing, and that's very, very frustrating. Shrooms are also a different thing. As long as it doesn't impact the board or the game state, it's fine. Devout Ship. Unraveled Earth Chip. I like Unraveled Earth more. As long as we still are very low on puff caps in deck.
Wow, it's walking.
Do I still need board space? I think I like full swing either way.
I've always been a fun guy.
New to the game, is a zero rally insane or is it just me? It's probably just you. It used to be insane before it got nerfed like a trillion times. Right now it's a very subpar deck. Talk was scared. Interesting, I'm playing against it right now and I feel helpless. I mean, in very low elo, it might still be good. Like, it has an insane power level. The problem is that right now in the current top tier meta, after all of the nerfs, it's way too slow to reach that peak. I think I'm playing Taliyah this round. Right of the Arcane is also cute. I want to create space for the Absolver, that's my biggest worry. And I also need mana, so if I go for like Right of the Arcane Sarcophagus this turn, I won't have it. I need to still play another landmark. Overdrawing one though. Stone weaving? It's stone weaving, isn't it?
All rocks erode eventually.
So Minefield wouldn't stun Ezreal nor Teemo anyway. I'm pretty sure I'm going for Obelisk.
Always forget there's a city.
It's actually good with Absolver.
Distance seems so little when family means so much.
It's not looking good for us though. 2 Foundries up, we're probably dead. Like, we can't win on the turn 7 attack and we're probably dead on the turn 9 attack. Guess I should have played for Malphite. So if I don't open attack, Icewell Archers are a problem, but not a huge one. I think I like right Devout Ship. How many hours should I come back to hope to catch some Poppy Braum? I don't know, like 1 or 2? I think Darkness and Diamond. Yeah, Darkness is not very good against Azir Aurelia. Darkness does not have effective enough removal. But yeah, Azir Aurelia has very polarized matchup tables. Like, it loses super hard to Yordle Burn. At the same time, wins super hard against a deck like... against a deck like Darkness, or any very slow control decks with not enough AoE removal. Although AoE removal... No, it's more about not having effective enough single target removal, actually.
Chill in the air.
Looks like you're stuck.
Would have needed some naturalists for this. We're kind of fine though, we're not overdrawing. We want you to die. You can remove this. You guys swing. Yeah, it's not looking too bad.
Look out for reavers.
Why would... Yeah, thank you.
Alert the village.
Okay, now the scary part starts though. Ezreal is leveled.
I'm so good, I surprised myself. I thought you'd never ask.
Made a pretty good, crazy good deck that beats pretty much everything. Duel me and I show you. You have to give me some incentive for me to duel you. Either need to spend... Oh no, I don't have the option anymore. Used to have a channel point option, but then again, I kinda also just want to play fun decks on the ladder. Bitcoin wallet incentive? That would be one possibility, yes.
Firing!
Oh, you're my favorite rock and also color.
When tribe calls, a reply is proper.
There's a good chance my opponent has a third Ezreal. They used Ezreal Mystic Shot there. One Bitcoin per duel. Okay. Alright, winnable. So my opponent's going for burn plus path cap win con. Yeah, Absolver is pretty much exactly what we needed. The rest doesn't matter. Could pre-commit one Absolver stack here to play around Brittle Steel. It doesn't really make sense though. Because one Absolver stack here is just as good. Oh, they're going for it. We're almost guaranteed to not die. Easy dodge. I've collected enough Puffcap Karma in my days. That was an interesting one though, GG.
What a great day!
Alright, what we got? Kindred Akshan. Finally, we find a worthy match. A deck we can win against. The Rite of the Arcane is going to be amazing in this matchup. Time to lose LP. Get back to your 200 LP rank, Exonarth.
Here comes the tip.
This is the big boy league. Only people with qualified opinions may speak.
Also color.
It's a pretty good deck. Surprisingly nice into Nami. Yeah, that might have been the idea behind it. Burst speed buff chip, let's go! Into battle! Oh! Hard countered. What are you passing a million mana for? Give me your Kindred.
Rame buys me a new sail. What is name for you?
Almost.
Brewers like me accept very different in every way.
Your help brought us here today.
What the hell are you? This person's bringing the spice.
Watch me.
Someday you see.
Okay, not bad. Alright, so we know they play Shaped Stone, which means that Rite of the Arcane is not a secure kill against Kindred. Oh, I never realized this is a rock bear sleeping in. Okay, that makes a lot of sense though. Wait, this is the elusive thing that never sees play, right? This is Desert Naturalist, and I have no idea who this is. Alright, I hope they play Kindred here. Damn, I need board space. Just shoot this immediately. Third one was Rockhopper? This is Rockhopper? Yeah, you're right.
Onward, everybody! The horizon falls!
Oh yeah, Psy Scout, that was the name of the middle one.
You know, second place is fun too.
No one likes a bad
I remember when I saw that card for the first time in the reveals, I thought that card had potential. And I have never seen it be played ever since. Only as a Tri-Beam Improbulator pull. Man, my opponent's playing some serious spice. I almost want to see what that deck does. But then again, I also kind of want to win. Do I know when the next update is? 20th of October. The next real patch, at least. They announced it for quite some time. It's going to be a very big balance patch as well. Ruben called it a variety patch instead of just a balance patch. Creative. Ooh. Alright, we shall maybe see. We shall maybe find out what our opponent's deck does. Don't you dare take out Chip. What a cruel person. In case I summon Malphite, it's better to not kill Chip here. Let's go. Right, actually, in case I summon Taliyah, I said that the wrong way around. Because I'm playing Malphite anyway. So if I draw Malphite, I might have as well sacrificed Chip here for the Rite of the Calling.
My feet are far away because I am tall.
You're also very, very sweet.
Does that deck play Ruination? Oh, I was just thinking if I actually should stun and run into Ruination, or open attack and potentially run into Vengeance or Quicksand.
What a great day!
Probably would have stunned there, because we already know our opponent's playing Quicksand. GG, we got the W.